To gain power, mastering all tools is vital. Law 22 of the 48 Laws of Power, use the surrender move, turn weakness into power, shows a clever way to rule that may seem odd at first. Yet, grasping and using this move can be the key to taking control and twisting situations to your benefit. Let's see why giving up on purpose is not a sign of weakness but a calculated action for those managing the complex world of power struggles. Law 22. Use the surrender move. Turn weakness into power. Goes against common sense by supporting the smart use of surrender as a way to gain leverage and final triumph. In this episode, we'll dive into 3 powerful ways to wield this law fiercely, looking at past examples and modern meanings to show how well it works. 1. The power of surrender, a clever move. The power of surrender is often underrated against tough foes, yet it has the potential for strategic victory. Contrary to common belief, surrendering does not equal defeat. Rather, it serves as a tactical pause for regrouping, gathering intel, and plotting a calculated counterstrike. This tactic finds proof in the tales of Bertolt Brecht's cunning submission to the House Un-American Activities Committee and King Gudgeon of Yue's strategic surrender, leading to eventual victory over the ruler of Wu. One of the core ideas behind surrender's success is its ability to diffuse aggression without open confrontation. Instead of meeting force with force, the strategy calls for outwardly giving in to the opponent's demands and shows of power. This unexpected compliance confuses aggressors, leaving them disoriented and vulnerable in the absence of expected resistance. From this vantage point of seeming submission, one can then use subtle tricks like ridicule and deception to undermine the enemy's authority. Brecht's run-in with the House Un-American Activities Committee is a prime example of this strategic surrender. Rather than defiantly defending his communist beliefs, he adopted a facade of compliance, presenting himself before the committee in a manner like its chairman, puffing a cigar and donning polite attire. Through deliberate misdirection, Brecht obscured the committee's inquiries with vague responses and intentional mistranslations, subtly undermining their authority from within the guise of surrender. Similarly, in Kundera's novel, The Joke, the prisoners subverted their captor's authority by outwardly conforming to their demands while covertly mocking their power. In a race set up by the guards to assert dominance, the prisoners exaggerated their compliance to absurd extents, feigning exhaustion while barely moving, thereby turning the spectacle into a satirical parody of obedience. By embracing and amplifying the very submission demanded of them, the prisoners subverted the intended display of power, turning it into a platform for ridicule and dissent. In essence, surrender emerges not as a sign of weakness, but as a clever move to neutralize aggression and exploit vulnerabilities within the enemy's facade of strength. By mastering the art of surrender, one can navigate the complexities of power struggles, turning apparent weaknesses into opportunities for strategic ascendancy and eventual triumph. 2. The skill of yielding and clever surrender. Clever surrender is not mere giving up, but a calculated move that hides inner resolve beneath outward acquiescence. It emphasizes the importance of self-control and patience, supporting a tactical approach that preserves long-term flexibility. While surrender may seem like admitting defeat, it serves as a strategic tool to buy time, gather intelligence, and prepare for a decisive counterblow. During the period of seeming surrender, one avoids futile confrontations, conserving resources, and studying the enemy meticulously. This phase allows for the gathering of crucial info about the enemy's operations, mindset, strengths, and weaknesses. By observing the shifts in their power dynamics, one waits patiently for the opportune moment when the enemy is most vulnerable. The historical example of King Gudgeon illustrates this concept vividly. After suffering a devastating loss, Gudgeon chose to surrender to the victorious ruler of Wu, feigning submission while secretly plotting revenge. Enduring years of servitude, Gujian used this time to keenly observe Wu's internal vulnerabilities. When a drought plunged Wu into chaos, Gujian seized the moment, swiftly mobilizing his forces and achieving a decisive victory over a weakened opponent. Moreover, clever surrender involves manipulating perceptions to project strength from apparent weakness, using misdirection, and staging strategic retreats. This strategic deception lulls enemies into a false sense of security, paving the way for a devastating counterstrike when the timing is optimal. The proverb, "the best fighter is never angry," captures the need to stay calm amidst adversity, using perceived weakness as a cloak to conceal true intentions and emerge victorious in the end. 3. Soft power and mockery surrender, in its multifaceted nature, embodies a clever approach that goes beyond mere giving up, evolving into a nuanced tool of influence and power. Its essence lies in the concept of a soft invasion, an intricate move that allows one to outwardly conform to the enemy's ways while inwardly preserving cultural integrity and values. This clever surrender, exemplified by Japan's response to Western trade in the 19th century, offers a profound lesson in the art of navigating power dynamics. Japan's approach was not one of weakness, but of calculated strategy. Instead of risking devastating military conflict by outright rejection of Western intrusion, Japan chose a path of apparent acquiescence. Outwardly, they embraced cooperation and integration with Western societal norms and technologies, presenting an image of submission. However, behind this facade lay a strategic rejection, a deliberate preservation of cultural identity and values. This inward defiance allowed Japan to avoid hostile occupation and subjugation, giving them the time and space to modernize and emerge as a formidable industrial power. This notion of surrender as a form of soft power finds resonance in various contexts, as shown by Milan Kundera's depiction in The Joke. Here, prisoners mock authority through exaggerated obedience, manipulating the story to instill uncertainty in their captors. Such acts of clever surrender wield influence not through brute force, but through subtle story control, undermining enemies from within. Moreover, surrender can be seen as a tactical retreat, as advocated by ancient wisdom. Through the mastery of storytelling, apparent weaknesses can be portrayed as deliberate strategies, reshaping perceptions and emerging stronger than before. This blend of soft power, story manipulation, and clever surrender underscores the complexity and efficacy of surrender as a tool in navigating power dynamics and shaping outcomes. In conclusion, the writing presents the surrender move as a powerful tool for those facing superior opponents. By surrendering cleverly, you can buy time, gather intelligence, and ultimately strike back when the opportunity arises, all while preserving your long-term flexibility and avoiding unnecessary martyrdom. If you're tuning into this video till now, it shows you're someone who loves seeing things through to the end. That's awesome, because finishing what we start isn't always easy. So, big congrats to you for that, because most people don't finish what they start. Now I've got something important to share. We're currently accepting donations in the form of subscriptions to our channel. It won't cost you a dime, but it will mean the world to us. Your subscription fuels our confidence and motivates us to create even better content that can genuinely help people. So, if you believe in what we're doing here, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Together, we can make a real difference. Thanks for your support.